Underoath, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, thank you.
Your album, Define the Great Line, it turns 20 next year.
It does.
So we saw They're Only Chasing Safety tour. So are we going to get an anniversary tour for
Maybe.
Define the Great Line?
Right now we are. We just put a new record out, so that's kind of what we're focused on right now.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that.
We've talked about it some.
We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We would like to. I mean, we're all really proud of obviously everything we've done, but that record was special for us. So if it makes sense, we'll do it.
Okay.
We'll see though.
And what has the response been like for the place after this one?
It's been really great. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard these days because, like, when you've been in a band for a long time, people are just play your old stuff. That's sort of the narrative when you've been in a band for a long time. But I feel like with this one, there wasn't as much hate as our previous two. This is our third one we've done since we got back together, and I feel like, there's less hate on this one, and I see people saying they love it. So but the only place you really get feedback is the internet.
Which is like a bit of a yikes, like a mixed bag.
And you kind of try to ignore that stuff too. It's like we see people respond to it live, which is what really matters. And
if you live your life in the comments, I mean, that's a dark place.
Someone wrote on my video the other day that I have a face for radio. So I know. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, could you imagine like getting to the tier of like being a band as long as like Green Day or Metallica at this point? Like, I mean, I'm sure if they sat around, read what people said about play your old stuff and we don't want to hear, it's like
you make records because you love making music together and you make the music you believe in, and
as long as you're happy, you're fine,
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter what anybody says.
I think the reality is like we're not a new band, and people, I did read the other day someone had just discovered us on this album, which is super cool. But for the most part, your fans connect you to a time and place, and they'll still listen to the new songs and love the new songs or not, and come to the shows. But you make music because you have to.
But we're all similar in that way, right? Like, I have a special place. So I've been a Deftones fan since Adrenaline because I've got an older brother who was into that kind of music way before I was. But I'm still going to listen to the new Deftones whenever they released it, and I'm still going to go, even if it wasn't my favorite. I would still go see them, because I love their career, their catalog. It's like, I don't know. I don't think we really worry about that stuff as much as we did when we first got back together. We were more concerned than we are now. Now we're just like, let's make that we want to make and be happy playing it. Because the worst thing you can be is up there playing a song you don't like.
Yes.
So as long as you like
especially if you're making music if you're like, I want to make this so the fans love it, or I want to make this so it's popular, that's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you get bad art,
And you're always gonna play music from whenever you started becoming popular. Like, so for us it was 2004 with Chasing Safety forward, so we're gonna play songs off of all those records because we're gonna celebrate our catalog. We've been a band long enough to where we know people that are coming for their 50th time, we know people are coming for their first time, so we're gonna give you a little bit of everything, and that's gonna include some new stuff. That's definitely gonna include everything from our past catalog from 2004 on, pretty much.
It's a short answer for your question.
Yeah. We love to talk, by the way.
No, this is great. Because what do you think is different about the new album compared to the other ones?
Oh, I mean, you grow and you live life and you see things and you get hurt and you have children and you get happy. And I mean, the people that we were in 2004 versus 2024, 2025, that album was recorded in 2024, but like, that's 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, think about who you were 20 years ago.
No.
And but we're at an age now, we're all in our early 40s, we're all 41, 42 years old. And so now it's like, I mean, when I was 20, and the world was different, so different. Like, we didn't have cell phones till we were 21, 22 years old. So like,
because cell phones weren't available, we didn't have money.
Yeah. So, but when we were 20 years old, and then the phones you got weren't on the internet. Mm-hmm. So, like, when we were 20 years old, we were so naive because, like, I really believe, like, my son is 13. My oldest child is 13. And I think he is smarter than I was when I was 20. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, like, 20 in 2004 is, like, we were boys. Like, we didn't know what we stood for. We didn't really know what we believed in. We were still doing the stuff that we grew up doing. We were like little kids, really. And then we were hitting the road, sharing stuff with people. It was just kind of wild if you think about it now, because I think somewhere in our 30s, mid 30s, we started to become men that had some individuality and things to say and things we believed in, things we didn't believe in. So it's kind of crazy to think a record you wrote when we were like 18, 19 years old is the first thing that got
everything's
popular.
different. You live life. You have different influences. You consume different media. You know what I mean? Like, you grow apart. Like, we all love each other, but we're all different individuals now. Yeah. And those first few records you're making is like the same person almost. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you get your own individuality. So it's different in, to answer the question in another short answer, it's different in every way. It's different and completely different in every way. And the same in the sense where it's our hands and feet and voices, but that's about the only thing probably, Kind
of scary thought. Like now, like a band was a band of people, a group of people that thought the same things, dressed the same, had the same kind of fuel in the tank. And now, like, young bands don't get that anymore because everyone's individualized from what they follow on social media to the podcasts they listen to. Like, there wasn't podcasts and, things to follow and reels to watch when we were 18, It was, we all were they're like, maybe that's what's different about music. We were all listening to the same in the van and going into a garage space and making music because you couldn't make music on a laptop because laptops were too expensive back then. Like, it was just a different world. I think that really has changed music, and some for the better, some for the worse. But yeah, kids now that are 18 are twice as smart as we were that we were 18, but they all have their own individual taste and personalities because your computer in your back pocket.
Right.
I mean, music now for the most part, I think, is consumed in 16-second blurbs. You know what I mean? Like, and when we started, we listened to albums because there was no iPods yet. You know what I mean? So you had to, you could skip a song, but you had to listen to a whole song, at least a whole song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, I mean, we've had marketing people tell us that people are going to consume your music in 16-second clips. That's how they see it,
Right.
And it's so different now.
Yeah, that will never change the way we're album people still. Me and him are vinyl collectors.
We're old dogs, man. Listen, boy.
Man, no, I know. I met a lot of young kids, man, that are collecting vinyl and stuff too, which is promising. I think that's really cool to see. And I'm seeing a lot of these younger bands. They're bringing back guitar amps and
definitely. We're definitely not the people who are like, music's changed for the worst. You got to get on the fucking internet to listen to a song. Like, I think it's all good.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's good.
Different, yeah.
Like, it's inspiring to me that a 13-year-old kid can make a song in his bedroom for no dollars. That's cool.
Yeah.
When I was 13, it was, $10,000 to record a single song. You know what I mean? It's cool. So it's changed in every way. Every aspect of this art form, of this industry, if this is a business, if this is a passion, every aspect has changed.
And the pendulum always swings. What's cool now might not be cool in 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of ride the wave and do what you do because you love it. That's really all that matters.
Well, and you talked about, you guys have grown, you have kids now, and I promised these guys I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to anyway because they can't hear me because of the stage. So you talked on a podcast about your wife's C-section, and
oh yeah,
you were talking about that. Actually, I don't remember who said it.
There was no substances involved, by the way, with that.
One of you said, I'd like to see her section, and I spit my coffee out my nose. But when you were talking about that, now my partner Dan, when he talks about it, he says that it was worse for him because he had to watch.
You had one.
And
Okay.
and in the way that you were talking about it, it kind of sounded like you thought that too. So I need you to say that it is worse for her than it was for you, even though you had to see everything.
We talk about it all the time, and I say it was so morbid and brutal. And she goes, well, you aren't the one getting fucking cut open. So obviously,
thank you.
Obviously it was worse for you guys. But our situation, and he has a similar one as well. It was an emergency C-section.
Okay.
So it was so fast. It was like, uh-oh, there's a problem. And I'm not exaggerating. 3 to 6 minutes later, we held our baby.
Wow.
From one room to the operating room and this was also during COVID, so everything was super heightened.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell that story, because they were literally slinging her body parts at.
It's crazy.
And when it's an emergency,
and no one ever talks about it.
When it's an emergency, so it did like, you can edit this out, TBD. I got a vasectomy 3 weeks later. I was like, I'm never, ever having children again. No, it fucked me up.
Okay, but it's still
worse for you guys.
Okay.
You guys carry the baby for 9 months and then do that shit. I get it. But she doesn't. To your partner's defense, a piece. She doesn't remember any of it.
That's true.
She was on fucking drugs.
Sort of in a way.
I
Yes.
was there.
And on a slightly different note, because we're out here on our inflatable furniture, I am asking, whose posters did you have on your wall when you were kids?
When we were kids, I had a lot of Nirvana stuff on my wall. I had, I remember I got the Foo Fighters debut album, and I went to the record store. The guy gave me the promotional poster off the wall, and it was I think it was a different artwork, or the artwork they were promoting. It was like this bald dude, cartoonish looking. I have to find it on the internet. You can find it still. And I had a lot of skateboarders on my wall.
Yeah, for me, it was drummers and the Atlanta Braves baseball players, and I think Nirvana was probably my first
love.
Nirvana was the first thing for me that I felt like was mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the first thing, I was in 5th grade when "Smells Like Teen Spirit" was #1 everywhere. It was the biggest song in the world, and we did this thing.
We were young. We were young into that, but yeah.
In 5th grade, whatever it was, in 5th grade, it was the song. I was 10, and we did this thing where you go and act like you have a career. In America, it's kind of common. Like in your 5th grade year, they take you to a place. Ours was called Enterprise Village, and it's like a functioning mall, small. And there was like a furniture store and a bank and a McDonald's, and kids run the city for the day.
What?
And yeah, it's not to the public; it's just to your school. But there was like a radio station there, and I'll never forget it. My friend was the DJ. That's the job everybody wanted that day. I had to work at like the fucking furniture store or something. But my friend was the DJ that day.
The banker.
And he played. Did you guys do that at school? You know what I'm talking about?
We didn't get to do all this cool stuff.
But my friend was the DJ, and he played "Smells Like Teen Spirit" 87 times that day. That was like the first thing that like I remember being like. And my dad, I grew up in a super strict Christian home, so I didn't have a lot of music posters because we were only allowed to listen to Christian music. We had to sneak to listen to anything else. But every Friday, my dad would secretly get drunk, and he had 200 vinyl, and I have most of them today, and all great shit. Led Zeppelin, all the good shit.
Why did you have to sneak it if he had 200 vinyl?
Because it was like unacceptable to listen to this music. It was wrong, but he still knew it slapped and loved it, and wanted to share it with me.
Right.
So he would put headphones on my head, and I'm estranged from my father, but I've been talking about this more recently. But like, he turned me on to like the dope shit that I still love. You know what I mean? Yeah. Secretly, and in some ways, I'm glad that I grew up that way, because it felt like it was mine. Like I remember he put Pet Sounds on one time, the Beach Boys, and he put headphones on me. Now it must have been 6 or 7 years old, and it felt like a drug. Like it felt like somebody was putting heroin into my veins. You know what I mean? And I still like, now at 42 years old, like I still hear a chord progression, and it can make me feel. And I like that. Music wasn't disposable to me. It was sacred because it was wrong somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that it's my life, I still have a piece of that sacred thing, which is cool.
And who was your first celebrity crush, if you were allowed to have one?
No.
I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. Like, we weren't like, when we were young, all we cared about was playing fucking rock and roll music. Like, yeah. I don't remember being like into girls. I mean, I was, but like,
yeah, but some of our friends were girl crazy, and we were like, it's funny because I talk about this all the time now. It's like almost like we were career crazy. I didn't know what it was. When I was a kid, I was like, yeah, I can, if you want to be my girlfriend, but you can watch me at band practice or go skateboarding. Like I wasn't doing all that.
Even then we got started in the local scene. There was all these kids that always had like pretty chicks around. And we were just like, when do you like,
we also looked 6 when we were like 18. Me and Aaron, especially, we looked like little boys. I don't think girls were really interested in us until later.
Like, there was local bands, and I would always be like, damn, dude, like, there's always like girls hanging out with you guys, and we just never.
We never had that.
We never had that. We didn't give a shit either. We would just we'd break into apartments to swim in the hot tubs, and like we just didn't give. We were like feral animals when we were younger, like straight up.
Yeah.
Well, that is by far the most interesting answer that I've had so far, so thank you for that.
But sure. I mean, I'm sure like back in the days, I don't know, like there was like it was the 90s, so
I mean, I thought like, Jewel was hot, Like
Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox from Friends.
Yeah,
That
like
was
those were the women back then. Like in the music space, I loved Jewel. I had a crush on Alanis Morissette when the Ironic video came out and she's in the car. It's like, like I thought that was super cool. But I wanted to be fucking Dave Grohl. I don't know how to explain it to you in any other way. That's all I cared about. Straight up.
The starting line was my last interview, and I asked if he had a question for you. How do you play so tight when you rock out so hard? That's the question.
We've been doing this forever.
We've been doing the same thing our whole lives.
And we blare a click track in our ears too.
And we're blaring a click track in our ears. And we
Enough
turn
to make
everything
you
up
deaf.
super loud to listen to in our ears as music. We're no good if it's not hard. You know what I mean?
Is that rain? Is it raining?
Is it raining?
It's misting.
I think it's the smoke machine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we just loud or nothing. That's kind of our thing.
Amazing.
I think we suck at soft.
And also, we come from the era where you weren't getting signed when because you made a great song and it was on the internet. We've mentioned this multiple times. Like, you had to be good live for someone to be like, hey, go check that band out. We might give them a record deal. We've always been better. I still believe this today. We're better live than we are on record. We still haven't made the record that sounds like us live yet. I'm always like, we're just a better live band than anything.
Yeah, we just are. I mean,
that's just where we grew up. though.
My biggest connections to music, again, I told you about the Pet Sounds thing and my dad sneaking records to me, but the moments that imprinted my brain are when I saw bands live, in our local scene even.
Live music's everything.
Like when I saw it changed me, and I can remember how I felt and how it sounded still today, stuff from 25 years ago. You know what I mean? So I think for us, it's just always been that. We're trying to capture a
feeling,
a lightning in a bottle on stage, and that's why it's like that.
Amazing. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.